Welcome back to Campus Connections. We're back in the kitchen, and today we're making a special dessert just for Easter, 3-step mini cheesecake baskets. So the first thing we're going to do is take our cream cheese. We have 2 packages of regular cream cheese, 8 ounces each. Put that right in our bowl. This is going to be the foundation of the cheesecake. Make that a little bit sweeter with our sugar. You need half a cup of sugar. Put that right in there too. And then half a teaspoon of vanilla. We're going to mix this all together. Now it's really important that when you're mixing this, that you get it mixed all the way through. You don't want it to be chunky or lumpy because then your cheesecake isn't going to bake right. So start on low and then eventually we'll move it up. You can also use the 1/3 less fat cheesecake if you like. That's always an option to substitute. While we're mixing it, we have got the oven preheated for 350 degrees. Now, eventually your beaters are going to get a little bit clogged. Cheesecake's pretty thick. Don't be afraid to just shove your spoon in there and unclog that. Now this makes 12 servings, so you only need 1 cupcake pan. And go ahead and line that with just your standard cupcake tins. You can use foil or the paper. I prefer the paper, and since this is Easter, they come in pretty festive holiday colors as well. Now as you can see, it's pretty well mixed in there. So we're going to go ahead and unclog that. The next thing you need to do is get 2 large eggs, and you're going to put those right in, the whole egg. Sometimes for cheesecake they ask for just the whites, but in this recipe we're going to use it all. And just put 2 eggs in there, and we're going to keep mixing until that is beaten as well. It's going to be a lot easier to mix after you put the eggs in because they're watery. They're going to get your cheesecake to be a little bit less sticky on those beaters. Now make sure you get the egg mix all the way in as well. That's going to make your cheesecake nice and rich and creamy. And there's 2 options for crust on this cheesecake. The option we're going to use is the vanilla wafers. But you can also choose to have no crust at all, or you can mix graham crackers with a little bit of butter and put that in the bottom as well. Right now we're just lining the bottom of each cupcake tin with 1 vanilla wafer. If you want a thicker crust, you can choose to use 2, but when you put them in the fridge to set, the vanilla wafers do get a little bit softer, so I like to just use 1. It makes the crust seem like a lot crustier, I guess, instead of cookie. So now we just need to scoop our cheesecake into our tins. This is the hard part. You know what? I'll just get another spoon. Use my teaspoon I've already dirtied and help that get out. Alright, well. Now after these have gone in the oven for 20 minutes, you're going to need to let them set in the fridge for 2 hours, or you can go ahead and put them in the freezer if you've got the space and let them set for a little less. And then when they're set, we'll be ready to decorate them and make them all Eastery. However, if you want to make cheesecake and it's not a holiday, that's not a problem. We got a lot of other toppings we can use. Just some chocolate syrup to put on top, caramel, strawberry, you name it, you can put it on top of these. And these are really nice because cheesecake is really rich. Uh-oh, a little spillage here. So a little portion is always nice, and it's a lot easier to store for us here in college. I mean, come on, our fridges are pretty full. Let gravity help me out here. And if you have more than 12 friends, doubling the recipe, really easy. And you just use 2 cupcake tins, which most people have too, because most cake mixes do make 24 cupcakes. So that's kind of convenient. Fill this one out a little bit more. Now we're going to stick these in the oven, which is already preheated at 350 for 20 minutes. All right, it's been 20 minutes. We're going to take our cheesecakes out of the oven. Put them straight into the freezer for an hour, hour and a half so that they can set. Let's recap today's recipe. 3-step mini cheesecake baskets. The ingredients you'll need are 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese, a half cup of sugar, a half teaspoon of vanilla, 2 eggs, 12 vanilla wafers, shoestring licorice, jelly beans, and some edible Easter grass. You'll also need cupcake liners. First thing to do is preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Then you'll beat your cream cheese, sugar, and vanilla with an electric mixer until well blended. Add your eggs and beat those in as well. Place a vanilla wafer on the bottom of each paper-lined cupcake tin, and then spoon the cream cheese mixture evenly over the wafers. You'll bake that for 20 minutes or until the centers are almost set. Then put that in the refrigerator and let it set for at least 2 hours. After the cheesecakes are set, you'll garnish them with the jelly beans, edible Easter grass, and use a shoestring licorice for the handle of the basket. Then you're ready to eat. All right, our cheesecakes are ready to be decorated, so we're going to bring those out of the fridge. They look pretty good. Now, to make these into actual Easter baskets instead of just cheesecakes, what we're going to do is first we have some edible Easter grass. You can get this at any Easter candy aisle. It comes in a lot of different colors. I've chosen the typical green, and you're just going to cut some little pieces of that. You can make them different lengths, and you're going to put that right on top, just like you're filling your Easter basket. And when you're satisfied with that, you need to take a toothpick, and you're going to make the holes for the handle. Just stick your toothpick all the way in and make a few little holes, one on each side. This will make it easier to get the licorice basket handle in. Now, for the eggs, we've got jelly beans. We're going to put them right on top of the grass. 2 or 3 is usually pretty good. You can push them in a little bit, see if they will sit inside the cheesecake. And then you need some shoestring licorice. You can also use the Twizzlers pull and peel candy and take about 3 or 4 pieces of the licorice together. We're going to stick it right into our hole. You're going to have to cut this to length so it will stand. So this one may be a little long, but we'll see if it stands. Shove that in our other hole. And there you have your Easter basket. You can decorate all of your little cheesecakes like that and serve them for however you want. Let's try it. The moment we've been waiting for. Perfect. Campus Connections will be back in just a few seconds.